Welcome, friends, to a tale of second chances, where love triumphs over a lifetime of distrust. In a world of power and deception, where betrayal leaves scars that never fade, one man learns the hardest lesson of all, that true love is not measured in wealth or power, but in trust. This is a story of heartbreak, redemption, and the courage it takes to believe again. Stay with us as we unfold a journey that will move your heart and remind you that sometimes love finds a way, even when all seems lost. The setting sun cast long shadows through the towering windows of First Pacific Bank's executive suite, painting Portland's skyline in hues of amber and gold. The plush carpet muffled the sound of Matthew Sullivan's polished Italian leather shoes as he paced the room. A red velvet jewelry box clutched tightly in his manicured hands. This office, usually his sanctuary of power and control, felt suffocating today. "Mr. Sullivan," his assistant's voice crackled through the intercom. "The florist called. Your anniversary arrangement is ready for pickup." Matthew pressed the button with a slightly trembling finger. "Thank you, Jenny. I'll get it on my way out." Alone once more, he turned toward the floor-to-ceiling windows. His own reflection ghosted against the cityscape below. A man who had everything: wealth, power, success, but carried a secret that gnawed at his conscience every single day. 1 year of marriage to Sarah, 1 year of happiness, 1 year of deception. Flipping open the jewelry box, he let his eyes settle on the flawless diamond necklace nestled inside. The dying sunlight caught its facets, scattering prisms of light across his face. Sarah deserved this. She deserved everything. But most of all, she deserved the truth. His phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. "Don't work too late, darling. I'm making your favorite for our anniversary dinner." Matthew's throat tightened. He typed back, "Leaving soon. Can't wait to see you." Leaning against his desk, he ran a hand through his salt and pepper hair. The truth had to come out tonight. He couldn't bear another day of watching Sarah's face light up at the sight of children in the park. Another moment of hearing her gentle hints about starting a family. "I should have told her before the wedding," he whispered to the empty office. But he had been too afraid. Sarah, with her natural warmth, her maternal instincts, her dreams of a big family, how could she possibly want to stay with a man who could never give her that? He straightened his tie, slipped the jewelry box into his suit pocket, and exhaled sharply. The weight of it felt heavier than it should. As he stepped out of his office, Jenny handed him a claim ticket for the flowers. "The arrangement is being held at Rose's on 5th. And, Mr. Sullivan, happy anniversary." As the private elevator descended, Matthew rehearsed the words in his head for the 100th time. "Sarah, before we met, I found out I can't... No, that wasn't right. Darling, there's something I should have told you. That wasn't right either." The engine purred to life, and as Matthew Sullivan, one of Portland's most powerful bankers, drove toward the florist, toward home, he felt like a man on the verge of losing everything, because secrets always have a way of coming out. Boston's winter wind howled through the streets, whipping around Matthew Sullivan as he stood outside Massachusetts General Hospital, his hands trembling as they clutched a thin, devastating piece of paper. DNA test results. Snow flurries swirled in the harsh fluorescent light, but Matthew barely noticed. The words on the paper blurred before his eyes, but their meaning was undeniable. The baby wasn't his. "Matt, come inside, it's freezing out here," a familiar voice called. Dr. Marcus Cohen, his oldest friend since their Harvard days, placed a hand on his shoulder. "We need to talk about the other test results." Matthew crumpled the paper in his fist. "What's there to talk about?" His voice cracked. "Victoria. She's been lying to me this whole time." Inside Marcus's office, the doctor poured 2 fingers of bourbon from a desk drawer. "Drink this, then we'll discuss everything." "Everything?" Matthew laughed bitterly, downing the liquor in one gulp. "You mean how my perfect wife has been sleeping around? How I've been playing the proud father to another man's child?" "Matt, there's more." Marcus hesitated, then pulled out another file. "The fertility tests we ran. There's no easy way to say this, but you can't father children. Ever." The second blow hit harder than the first. Matthew gripped the armrests of his chair. the room spinning around him. That's impossible. We've been trying for years. Which explains why Victoria might have... Marcus trailed off, realizing his mistake as Matthew's eyes darkened with fury. That evening, Matthew confronted Victoria in their Beacon Hill townhouse. She stood by the nursery window, the baby, sleeping peacefully in his crib, her designer dress catching the soft lamplight. "Who is he?" His voice was deadly quiet. Victoria didn't even try to deny it. "Does it matter? Does it matter?" He wanted to scream. She had made him believe. She had let him love that child as his own. "What was I supposed to do?" she snapped, her perfect composure finally cracking. "You couldn't give me what I wanted. I had to." "You had to?" His voice rose. "You had to lie? Cheat? Make me believe I was a father?" The divorce was brutal. Victoria fought for everything. His house, his cars, his business shares. She hired the most ruthless lawyer in Boston, airing every piece of dirty laundry she could find. But Matthew had one weapon she couldn't fight: the DNA test. In the end, he won the legal battle but lost something far more valuable: his faith in love, in honesty, in the simple dream of family. As he signed the divorce papers, Matthew Sullivan made a vow: never again. It started at a holiday party, a chance encounter with a woman who, unlike everyone else in the room, didn't care about his wealth or status. Sarah Mitchell. She had captivated him not with beauty, but with something far rarer: integrity. When he made a crude advance expecting compliance, she slapped him, in front of everyone. For the first time in years, Matthew felt something unexpected: respect. And so he pursued her, not with diamonds, but with something new: effort. She rejected his expensive gifts, refused his advances. "What do you want then?" he had asked, frustrated. Her answer had changed everything. "Someone to ask about my thesis instead of my price tag. To go fishing without worrying about designer gear. To make s'mores and laugh at bad jokes. But you wouldn't understand that, would you?" That night, Matthew stared at the city lights from his penthouse, and the next day he showed up at her tiny apartment with a fishing rod from Walmart, a bag of marshmallows, and a simple admission: "I don't know how to fish or make s'mores, but I'd like to learn, and I'd like to hear about your thesis." That was the beginning of everything. And now, after a year of marriage, everything was about to fall apart. Because in her hands was a pregnancy report, and in his heart was a past that whispered the ugliest lie. "Who is he?" Sarah's face crumpled. "Matthew, this is our baby." But he had heard that before. And just like that, their perfect life shattered. What followed was a journey of heartbreak, discovery, and redemption. And the question remained: could love survive a lifetime of mistrust? Stay with us to find out.